Okay. This is the first time recording on my computer and I'm trying to figure this out. Hey guys, I am Shayla Jade and this is Chocolatecake101. I'm really intimidated by how close the camera's in my face, but we're gonna go with this. So, I have been talking a lot about boundaries because we've been talking about, I'm calling it villain personalities. So, I've been talking a lot about boundaries, energy boundaries, and boundaries. So, I decided let's do a video. So today we're going to talk about boundaries. This is kind of impromptu, but I did make some notes. So let's just go with me here. So online, boundaries I think is one of the biggest, one of the words, the buzzwords that have been floating around the spiritual community for many years. And then I guess everybody, or different cultures, or Western culture for the past, I think since 2020, since everyone decided that things needed to be mentally looked at. We needed to look at our lives from a mental point of view is what I should say. So what are boundaries? Because I think a lot of people don't understand what boundaries are. A lot of people, they understand some boundaries, but they really, others, it's such a wide variety of words. It is a word that can mean a lot of different things. Boundaries are a few different things. Boundaries are rules that we set for ourselves for continued growth. And boundaries could also be rules for what we want to be around us, what we want to be involved in, what we want to be around us. I like to think of it this way. So in different religious groups and in different spiritual communities, I would say all spiritual communities and some religious groups, you have acknowledgement of masculine and feminine energy both living within you. Your masculine energy is your ego and your feminine energy is your emotions. And like I said, this is all within all of us. That has nothing to do with what sex you are. You might be a man, you might be a woman, you might identify as something else. But everybody, regardless of how you identify, you have masculine energy and you have feminine energy. You might have more of one energy depending on how you identify, but you have both, okay? Now, your masculine energy wants, this is all from the notes that I just did. Your masculine energy wants your safety and respect. So if you think of like what a man would want, he wants to be protected. He wants to be protected and he wants to make his mark on this world. Men are the sun. They rule this realm. Women, girls just want to have fun, right? So women want to be happy. If you think of women from a spiritual standpoint, that's your emotions, okay? And I could break it down even more, but just because we're going to keep people happy. We're going to keep people happy today. We're going to stop there. But women are emotions and men are ego, okay? So, in the form of you with yourself, it is up to your masculine and feminine union, the masculine version of you, the masculine in you and the feminine in you, they both just want to be happy. They both want to be unionized with each other. So altogether, they want safety, respect, and happiness. And your boundaries are the rules that they set for that union within yourself so that yourself can be safe, respected, and happy. That's what a boundary is, okay? Now, in that case, if you think about it that way, you have at least two different types of boundaries. I've been saying energy boundaries, but technically we would call them emotional boundaries and discipline boundaries. Emotional boundaries are like, that's what most people talk about. What you're going to do, you're not going to talk to me that way. That's an emotional boundary. Think of anything that would piss you off or make you happy or anything that has to do with your emotions. So this is going to be most of the time when you're out in the world or when you're watching TV or when you're doing whatever. If something makes you happy, sad, jealous, insecure, bored, fake, whatever, if it has to do with your emotions, and this is where a lot of people have to get more in tune with themselves, but if it has to do with your emotions, that is an energy boundary, aka an emotional boundary, okay? And then you have your discipline. I'm gonna go back to this, but I really want to show you the basics, okay? Then you have your discipline boundaries. Your discipline boundaries are the things that you're going to do with yourself so that you can continuously grow. That might be choosing to work out 3 times a week, choosing to eat a balanced meal for breakfast or all throughout the day. That might be choosing to learn a new skill once a year, or choosing like what you're going to do at work so that you continue to grow in your job. But so you have those disciplined boundaries. That could be, oh my gosh, there's so many different discipline boundaries. But it's going to be those people who take care of themselves and take care of their mind so that they can continually grow through life. Because like I said, your masculine energy or your ego within you wants you to be safe and respected. And that is going to be anything that's going to be in your environment to keep you safe, but also your continual growth through life. They want your masculine wants to grow in status as you evolve on this earth. And that's understandable. All right. So, okay. So, what happens when our boundaries are not met, when our boundaries are broken? First, I would really like to talk about discipline boundaries, because it is something that I have been trying to understand more for the past year or two. By the way, I have a build on masculine and feminine energy. The link will be above. I hesitate to say that because I did it maybe a year and a half ago. It was a requested video. And even though I was honored to do it, I didn't know nearly what I know now. So I want to do another video, but I'm still intimidated because masculine and feminine energy is such a respected topic. And especially in today's time where people think that there are multiple sexes. I didn't say I had a belief on that or not. I'm just saying what everyone else believes, okay? It's something that I feel like you have to really, not even really know what you're talking about, but I don't want to miss the good stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because it is such a respected topic in the universe, in our universe, okay? But I will do another build on it, but you can still watch the one I already have because it's still very informational. Still has a lot of good stuff on there. Listen, I don't care if I mess up, I'm not stopping. And I might not even edit. We'll see. Okay. So anyways, when you have, this is so impromptu now, when you have disciplined boundaries, okay, like I said, that looks like someone who, I know my Kane's dad, he's very big on making the bed up every day, no matter what. And I used to think that was stupid because I want to get back in the bed. But I understand now that is just one example of many of the discipline boundaries: making your bed up every day, maybe eating a disciplined breakfast, eating a disciplined diet, maybe not all the time, but a majority of the time, working out consistently, reading a book, learning a craft, whether it be a craft that you're learning for play or whether it be a craft that you're learning to make money, learning about money. A disciplined boundary are the things that you do for yourself that will, like I said, will grow you, not just money-wise and career-wise, but they'll help evolve your spirit, because you are gaining more wisdom as you read more books, or your body's getting better and it's getting healthier as you get older. So it's helping you to become a better version of yourself as you go through this life. Also, with your safety, it's those things that your ego is trying to protect your body and your spirit and your life. Okay. So when it comes to discipline boundaries are about the discipline and consistency. So as you consistently do these discipline boundaries, whatever they are, that's best for you and whatever you are going through in life, and they're not going to always be the same. You might always want to have a nice body. You might always want to eat healthy. But as you go on, you're going to have a family. You're going to have ebbs and flows of life. As you go through the highs and the lows of life, your discipline boundaries are going to change, but they are things that have to be done consistently. Those are the delayed gratification. You might not see the reward today, but you are going to see the reward eventually, and the more you do it, the better it's going to be. So those are your discipline boundaries. Someone who is good at that, who is building those boundaries, especially when it comes to it being a masculine energy. That is how the masculine energy within you protects the feminine energy within you. It's the same with a man in his household. These are the rules for his household, and he's just trying to protect his family. Okay? And that's the union, that's the beauty. Everyone's trying to reach me as soon as I start recording. When these rules are not followed, or they're not followed consistently, this looks like a person who, I'm feeling triggered because I know I'm talking about myself in some of these topics. The person who can't keep their diet. They've been working on the same goals forever. It looks like confusion. It looks like a lack of clarity. It looks like a little bit of chaos, depending on, and there are levels to this. It really depends on what you're not consistent at and how inconsistent you are. However, if you're not doing things to the best of your ability, you are allowing chaos to creep into your environment, okay? It's basically like if you leave your door unlocked, you might get robbed. It's like that. It's, as a matter of fact, exactly what it is. If you don't follow these boundaries, or if you don't do it consistently, you are opening yourself up to things that you don't want to happen, right? Okay, great. Now, emotional boundaries, energy boundaries, that is the respect that you have for yourself, okay? This is we talked about it. The girls just want to have fun. This is you being happy. So, for example, you guys feel it all the time. What did I say? This is when you allow people to play you. This is when you're quiet when you shouldn't have been quiet. And let me tell y'all something. You don't always have to clap back. You don't always have to get your lick back. But you have to do what's best for you, because a lot of times the best thing for you is to disassociate with people who disrespect you. And that's what I'm trying to learn to do. But sometimes, like I say, sometimes you want to get your lick back. Sometimes you have to say something. As you get better in your emotional intelligence, and I do have a video on that, as you get better with that, you will change how you respond to different situations. This also has a lot to do with manifesting and self-concept. So these are little pieces that we're putting together, you guys. It's a lot, but it's not a lot, because a lot of this is the same. It's the same solution to different problems, because it's all the same energy. So in your emotional boundaries, this is about how you talk to yourself, how people talk to you, what you allow yourself to watch and listen to and be involved in, because you have to be responsible and respectful about the energy that you feel. There are so many people that are so triggered these days, and they don't realize this because they have not respected their own emotional boundaries. Respecting your energy, respecting your emotions isn't just about being consciously aware of where I am and what I want to do in this moment, but it's also about emotional intelligence on the day-to-day. We refresh so many things. We take showers every day. You clean your car, you clean your house, but many people don't clean their emotions. They don't clean your energy. You have to cleanse your energy, which we talk about this all the time. This is about being in check with your surroundings and how you feel. This is about meditating or doing yoga or doing exercise. I say this all the time. Muay Thai, Tai Chi, Qigong, exercising, doing something that you love, taking some time out for you. If you don't refresh your energy, refresh your emotions. I was watching something on social media today about, it was a spoof, but it was real, based off of real beliefs, about this judge who's sitting in his car, and he's thinking about how he just gave someone life in prison because he was hungry. And now that he had hangry, and now that you had a candy bar, now that you had something to eat, now that you have fulfilled yourself, now you can mentally think and be more clear. That shit is real, you guys. And I know you know that because Snickers coined the word hangry, right? If you are not replenishing your spirit, you're not always going to make the best choices for you, for your family, for the people around you, for your job, for things like this. So your emotional boundaries are really important when it comes to life. This, like I said, it wants to be happy. And if it's not happy, it wants to get happy. That's your feminine energy. That's your emotions. That is your spirit. And what happens when those boundaries are broken, your emotional boundaries? It looks like a toxic woman. It looks like a toxic guy. It looks like someone who is crazy. This is where personality disorders come into play. Narcissism, being someone who's weak and lets people walk all over them, being a victim mentality, which is in the villain, victim, hero trifecta. Anything that is less than the best is irrelevant. I'm sorry I had to say that. But what I was really going to say, what I was really going to say, anything that is less than balance is toxic. It doesn't matter what label you want to put on it. And that's because your masculine energy and your feminine energy are angry with each other. So when it comes to a toxic masculine, that's because one of them is doing more work and the other one is what is it? What is it called when you're a woman and you have too much masculine energy? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Hyper masculine woman or a hyper feminine man. That's because, like, in a hyper masculine woman, her masculine energy is doing all the work and her feminine energy is sitting in a corner cradling herself. She's scared. Or the same way with a hyper feminine man. His feminine energy is doing all the freaking work, all the thinking, all the feeling, and his masculine energy is not protecting his feminine. This is why boundaries are so important, because this is what balance is about. So as the year ends and the new year comes, I would strongly encourage you, and I'm doing it myself, to create some discipline boundaries for yourself and to create some emotional boundaries for yourself. It doesn't have to be a lot. We all say that we want to change in this new year, but sometimes it's hard to keep up with, and I am working on a journal. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with, and if we make it more than what we can energetically do, you're not going to continue it. So I would say stick to small things that you can change, like how much toxic TV you're going to watch. I've been telling people for years, stop watching those murder mystery shows. Every time, like, I slam the door at night, people be freaking out thinking they're about to get kidnapped. You have neighbors, bruh. Like, really. But because everyone watches all those damn TV shows about kidnapping and stuff, so everyone's, like, on edge. Okay, I said a lot, and I love to be playful, and I haven't been nearly playful enough, so it's just going to become more and more. But let's sum this up. When you do not keep your boundaries with yourself starts not to trust you. What is it? If you don't, I don't know the exact quote, but if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Or even just yourself starts to not trust yourself. And this leads to energies like depression, shame, guilt, any of those energies where yourself is blaming yourself, like depression. That is because you don't trust yourself, because you haven't been keeping the boundaries with yourself. You haven't been keeping your own boundaries. You haven't been keeping the promises to yourself. You haven't been doing the things that the feminine energy within you wants to do. It's almost like in a marriage where the woman says, you ignore me and you don't take me out on dates. Well, the childlike energy or the feminine energy within you is saying to your masculine self, you ignore me, you don't take me out on dates. That looks like you working all the time and you're not making enough room for the things that you love or the things that you feel. You're not painting and dancing and singing. But both are very, very, very important, as I keep saying. So, make some rules and follow them. And I would say make easy rules first, because you want to get to the point where you are keeping your promises to yourself, so that yourself starts to trust you a little more and a little more and a little more. Okay? And then you can add on to that, and then you can add on to that, and then you can add on to that. But do it how you want to do it. Anyways, I'm Shayla Jade. This is Chocolatecake101. If you found value in today's content, first of all, we're going to have to talk about boundaries more and more, because I just feel like, because I can. But if you found value in today's content, please like, share, comment, subscribe, screenshot, hashtag, argue, email, do whatever you want to do. My love is your love. Thank you for watching.